Coming up on 5 Minute News. Judge Jackson confirmed as first black female High Court justice. Ukraine asks for more help as Russians retreat from capital. And heat-trapping methane gas is significant threat to climate. It's Friday, April 8. I'm Anthony Davis. The United States Senate on Thursday confirmed Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, shattering an historic barrier by securing her place as the first black female justice and giving President Joe Biden a bipartisan endorsement for his promised effort to diversify the High Court. Cheers rang out in the Senate chamber as Jackson, a 51-year-old appeals court judge with 9 years' experience on the federal bench, was confirmed 53-47, mostly along party lines, but with 3 Republican votes. Presiding over the vote was Vice President Kamala Harris, also the first black woman to reach her high office. Biden tweeted afterward that we'd taken another step toward making our highest court reflect the diversity of America. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer exalted that it was a wonderful day, a joyous day, an inspiring day for the Senate, for the Supreme Court, and for the United States of America. Harris said as she left the Capitol that she was overjoyed and deeply moved. Jackson will take her seat when Justice Stephen Breyer retires this summer, solidifying the liberal wing of the 6-3 conservative-dominated court. She joined Biden at the White House to watch the vote, embracing as it came in. During 4 days of Senate hearings last month, Jackson spoke of her parents' struggle through racial segregation and said her path was clearer than theirs as a black American after the enactment of civil rights laws. She attended Harvard University, served as a public defender, worked at a private law firm, and was appointed as a member of the U.S. Sentencing Commission. She told senators that she would apply the law without fear or favor and pushed back on Republican attempts to portray her as too lenient on criminals that she had sentenced. Jackson's eventual elevation to the court will be a respite for Democrats who fought 3 bruising battles over former President Trump's nominees and watched Republicans cement a conservative majority in the final days of Trump's term with Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation. While Jackson won't change the balance, she will secure a legacy on the court for Biden and fulfill his 2020 campaign pledge to nominate the first black female justice. The Russian military retreated from a northern Ukrainian city, leaving behind crushed buildings, streets littered with destroyed cars, and residents in dire need of food and other aid. Images that added fuel to Kiev's calls on Thursday for more Western help to halt Moscow's next offensive. Dozens of people lined up to receive bread, diapers and medicine from vans parked outside a shattered school, now serving as an aid distribution point in Chernihiv, where Russian forces besieged for weeks as part of their attempt to sweep south toward the capital before retreating. The city's streets are lined with shelled homes and apartment buildings with missing roofs or walls. A chalk message on the blackboard in one classroom still reads, Wednesday, the 23rd of February. Classwork. Russia invaded the next day, launching a war that has forced more than 4 million Ukrainians to flee the country, displaced millions more within it, and sent shockwaves throughout Europe and beyond. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba warned on Thursday that despite a recent Russian pullback, the country remains vulnerable, and he pleaded for weapons from NATO to face down the coming offensive in the east. Nations from the alliance agreed to increase their supply of arms, spurred on by reports that Russian forces committed atrocities in areas surrounding the capital. Western allies also ramped up financial penalties aimed at Moscow, including a ban by the European Union on Russian coal imports and a US move to suspend normal trade relations with Russia. Ukrainian and several Western leaders have blamed the massacres on Moscow's troops, and the weekly Der Spiegel reported on Thursday that Germany's Foreign Intelligence Agency had intercepted radio messages between Russian soldiers, discussing the killings of civilians. Global atmospheric levels of the potent but short-lived greenhouse gas methane increased a record amount last year, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said on Thursday, worrying scientists because of the large role methane has in climate change. The preliminary airborne level of methane jumped 17 parts per billion, hitting 1,895.7 parts per billion last year. It's the second year in a row that methane rose at a record rate, with 2020 going up 15.3 ppb over 2019, according to NOAA. Methane, more commonly known as natural gas, is a big contributor to climate change, leading to about a 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit increase in temperature since the 19th century, according to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Carbon dioxide has caused about 50% more warming than methane. Because it doesn't last in the air long, many nations last year agreed to target methane for quick emissions cuts as low-hanging fruit in the global efforts to limit future warming to 1.5 or 2 degrees Celsius since pre-industrial times. The world has already warmed by 1.2 degrees Celsius. You can subscribe to 5-Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5-Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5-Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.